Hey everybody, welcome back to another live video here on YouTube. Another WWE or WWF, you want to call it, in this case WWF Wrestling Pay-Per-View review. So I already did one of WWF Royal Rumble from 2000. This one is going to be, now the next one that was after that was No Way Out, but however, I did not see this pay-per-view because of the fact that I was unable to see this. I was unable to see this on pay-per-view because I was grounded at that time when I was going to school around that time. Just to admit it and stuff. But yeah, I just was in trouble and I could not see the pay-per-view. Most of them I did see in the year of 2000, but some of them I could not see. Hold on a second. Let me just. That's my computer you see right there. I'm just trying to get the screen up because I'm doing it this way. I'm doing like this review like this way. Oops. Grab my mouse. Okay, here we go. So this was called WrestleMania 2000. Although it's the 16th WrestleMania, it was never called WrestleMania 16. It would be like XVI. So it was 2000, and of course it was held in the year 2000 on April 2nd, 2000 to be exact. And the tagline was for this, a McMahon in every corner, because of the Fatal 4-Way match, which we will get to in a second. So this was held at the Arrowhead Pond of Anaheim in Anaheim, California, which I believe this is the one that also held WrestleMania 12, if I'm not mistaken. If I look this up on here real quick, and I believe this was, so just looking on here to see if it says if it is or wasn't. Not really seeing anything, so yeah, I really don't see it on here, but I believe it was, so okay, it is the same one. Okay, well, thank you for telling me that. Alright, anyway, so the capacity crowd for this one was only 19,776 people. Usually when they have pay-per-views like this, they're in bigger places, like stadiums or anything like that. Alright, so for this one, we had our opening match. This one was the opening matchup, and this featured like a little music performance from Ice-T. It is the Godfather and D'Lo Brown against the tag team of the Big Boss Man and Bull Buchanan. So, excuse me, Ice-T performs the Godfather's theme song from the CD WWF Aggression, and they make their entrance. But however, this matchup was not all that great. I mean, the Godfather and D'Lo Brown of a tag team did not really last that long, but Big Boss Man and Bull Buchanan lasted for about a year or so, or maybe something. Well, actually, no, not really that long, because Bull Buchanan would go right to censor after that. But this was not really a great opening matchup. I mean, it was okay, but just not really a great opening matchup. Yeah, just didn't really pay much attention to it. But the second match, I paid more attention to this one because this was a great match, but this one, in my opinion, should have been the opening matchup. Yes, I agree with that. Right to Censor absolutely did suck. The worst tag team ever, the worst franchise, and the worst theme song ever. All them people, Steven Richards, Bull Buchanan, the Godfather, who they later renamed the Good Father, Val Venus, Ivory, and that's about it. Man, the tag team really sucked. They should never have had them in here. Their theme song was the worst, like I said. Alright, for this next one, then we had the Hardcore Battle Royal for the WWF Hardcore Championship, featuring all of these people that were in this matchup. Now, okay, here we go. They are Taz, Viscera, Joey Abs, Rodney and Pete Gas, the Mean Street Posse, Taka Minishioku and Funaki Kaientai, Mosh and Thrasher, the Headbangers, Farouk and Bradshaw, the Acolytes, Hardcore Holly, and the Hardcore Champion himself, Crash Holly. Now, it starts off with a lot of people, throwing things at each other and all that stuff, and only 26 seconds, Taz pins Crash Holly with a suplex, and is the new Hardcore Champion. But they're doing it for 15 minutes. So he's the champion, winds up becoming the new Hardcore Champion, then Viscera winds up being the champion after that, and he lasted the most until Funaki covered him, but then they had to put Taka Minishioku on there, and Mosh also got on there as well, because Viscera was a big person, so they pinned him. Then Rodney becomes the new champion after pinning Funaki out in the backstage area, because after he became champion, he runs away, and they all go after him backstage. Joey Abs winds up pinning Rodney after a gut-wrench suplex, and Thrasher pins Joey Abs after a clothesline for throwing him into a like a door thing, or that metal thing. And then Pete Gas pins him after hitting him with a fire extinguisher. Then Taz becomes the champion after that, and Crash becomes the champion, and then Hardcore Holly pins Crash Holly at the end of the matchup, and the referee counts 1 and 2, but his hand kind of didn't hit the ground, and then the time expired, and they said the new Hardcore Champion is Hardcore Holly. Kind of interesting that they did that they said that he was the champion, but it was a little bit of a controversial ending, just a little bit, but in my opinion, this was a good matchup. I thought that this one really was, and I thought that this one should have been the opening matchup, but however, it was the other one. So there you go, and yeah, Hardcore Holly wins the Hardcore Championship like that. Next one is the debut of a new tag team, TNA, Test and Albert, along with Trish Stratus against the Head Cheese duo of Al Snow and Steve Blackman, with Chester McCheeserton, their little mascot thing. This matchup was not a great one either. Another disappointing tag team matchup. Test and Albert didn't even last for like a year. It lasted for maybe about 5 or 6 months or so. I'm not sure how long that they were, together. And this was just not really a great matchup in my opinion. It only lasted about 7 minutes, and I just was not impressed with this matchup. I really was not. So, this matchup was just not all that great. Move on to the next one. This one is the Triangle Ladder match for the WWF Tag Team Championship. Edge and Christian, the Dudley Boys, the Tag Team Champions, and the Hardy Boys, all in a Triangle Ladder match. Now, this matchup, this was a very good one. I give this one 2 thumbs up. Because this matchup featured a Swanton Bomb from Jeff Hardy onto Bubba Ray Dudley out onto the floor area, after Jeff Hardy had done that before to him at the Royal Rumble and did that. And this matchup pretty much ended with Edge and Christian grabbing the titles, on top of a table between 2 ladders, and got the belts and won the championship. And there you go. This was a very good tag team matchup. It was, lots of stuff in this, a lot of moves and all that. I mean, this one was a very good one. Yeah, this one was a great match. Next one, now this one, okay, thank you for telling me that. I didn't know how long it was that tag team lasted. Anyway, the next one is a cat fight match between Terry Runnels with the Fabulous Moolah against the Cat with Mae Young and special guest referee Val Venus. This matchup was not good. this matchup was horrible. I mean, because the only funny thing about it was Mae Young doing the Bronco Buster on the Fabulous Moolah, and Terry Runnels had been eliminated like twice in the matchup, and Val Venis was being distracted a few times. And basically, the cat gets eliminated, and Terry wins the matchup, and the crowd just boos just to show how much that they really liked that match. Yeah, that matchup was really terrible. Was definitely not impressed with it. I mean, this matchup was senseless in my opinion. It was just not really all that great. Yep. So for that one, there you are. Our next matchup is a 6-person intergender tag team matchup, and the way they call it, I don't know why they call it that, but it is Too Cool, Grandmaster Sexay, and Scotty 2 Hotty, and Chyna against the Radicals, Eddie Guerrero, Perry Saturn, and Dean Malenko. This matchup was actually pretty decent. I mean, it wasn't the best, but not terrible. Too Cool was a pretty good tag team. Of course, like their theme song that they lasted from about 1999 to about 2000, like late 2001 or something like that. Again, this was it wasn't a bad tag team matchup, but this matchup, in my opinion, was just pretty much was okay. I mean, it was a decent matchup, and it was just not bad. I mean, although I didn't watch a whole lot of it, when I watched this on pay-per-view, but I did watch it. But for this one, I'll just give it a little thumbs up, like that, just because it was pretty decent. All right, our next matchup is the 2-fall triple threat match for the WWF Intercontinental and European Championship. The challengers, Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho, and the Intercontinental and European Champion, Kurt Angle. This was a good matchup. The first fall was for the Intercontinental Championship, and Chris Benoit wound up capturing the Intercontinental Championship by either, I think he pinned Jericho, I'm not sure exactly how. So, and it doesn't matter who got pinned in this matchup, pretty much just whoever gets pinned, and then you're the champion, even if Kurt Angle does not get pinned or whatever. So yeah, Chris Benoit wins the first one by winning the Intercontinental Championship, and Jericho wins by getting the European Championship from Angle, but although he did not pin Angle, he pinned Benoit. And there you go. I mean, this was a pretty good matchup. It was good. Better than the tag team matchup. And yeah, between these 3 wrestlers, there you go. I mean, really, really good matchup. So, 2 thumbs up for that. There we go, just like that. The next one is another tag team matchup. And now that I looked this over, there were There were 4 tag team matches in this pay-per-view. Yeah, I mean, well, of course, the other one is the triangle ladder match for the tag team championship, but it wasn't a tag team thing. It was just, it was just called the triangle ladder match for the WWF Tag Team Championship. Anyway, the next matchup is a tag team of Rikishi and Kane with Paul Bearer against D-Generation X, X-Pac, and the Road Dogg, along with Tori. This matchup did not last very long. It only lasted less than 5 minutes, 4 minutes actually. And this one I was not really impressed with because Rikishi and Kane wound up winning the matchup, and then when this happened, Pete Rose attempted to hit Kane with a baseball bat, but that wound up, not happening. And he just, that's, and what happened to him on there, but like I said, this matchup was not that great either. Just disappointing matchup, and just not really too impressed with it. It was just not all that great. So a 1 thumbs down for that, as I just didn't really enjoy it. Yeah, so anyway, we'll just move on to our next one, and that is the 4-way elimination match for the WWF Championship. And once again, with the tagline, a McMahon in every corner, as they say. So this features the WWF Champion Triple H with Stephanie McMahon Helmsley against The Rock with Mr. McMahon, Mick Foley with Linda, and The Big Show with Shane. Now, of course, this is the matchup that everybody is looking forward to. Of course, the odds-on favorite is The Rock because he won the Royal Rumble, and The Big Show is well in it, and Mick Foley. And yeah, so pretty much the Big Show got eliminated first after he was pinned by a rock bottom, and Mick Foley was pinned after a pedigree onto a steel chair by Triple H, and now it is down to Triple H and The Rock. But in this matchup, Mr. McMahon comes into the ring and has a chair, but he hits The Rock with it and turns heel in the process. And that allows Triple H to get the pin on him and get the win. And much to The Rock's delight for losing the matchup, he winds up, I think, giving a rock bottom to Mr. McMahon, and Stephanie McMahon comes in and tries to interfere, and The Rock winds up rock bottoming her, and Triple H, trying to get in to help, gets pushed out of the way, and The Rock gives her a people's elbow just to end the matchup just like that. This matchup, I definitely wanted The Rock to win. I mean, I didn't care for Triple H back in 2000 because I really was tired of him, carrying around the belt a lot of times. But I just really wanted somebody else to be champion. I was disappointed that he lost. But it was a pretty good matchup. It lasted for a good while, and it was probably, everybody's favorite matchup of the night. But I just thought for sure that The Rock would get the win. But it was a good matchup. It was a good main event, and I thought for sure it would be a little bit differently. But yeah. So there you go. I mean, that's it. That's the whole entire matchups, and there you go. And that's my opinions of them. And for a rating out of 10, as usual for these things, I give this thing, a thumbs up like I've done before. Like I said, on the thing there I did. As I said, I give this a thumbs up, and out of a 10 rating, I'm actually going to give this pay-per-view a 6 out of 10. The reason of that is because there were 2 matchups in there that really were not all that great. One of them being Terry Runnels and the Cat, which was one of the really disappointing matchups of the night. A few others which were just pretty decent and all that. Well, the Hardcore Battle Royal, which is my favorite, and the other one, Edge and Christian, against the Dudleys and the Hardys for the tag team titles, and the triple threat matchup for the Intercontinental and European Championship. The other matchups were just, in my opinion, not all that great. Yeah, but just reading what the comments said, but yeah, in my opinion, this I would give this a better rating, like if the matchups were, any better and all that, but honestly, in my opinion, no, this just wasn't, all that great, but it was a good pay-per-view, but there you go. So, 6 out of a 10 for this pay-per-view, and there you are. Okay, so I think that will wrap it up for this. I hope everybody enjoyed this review. If you're welcome to comment below and say what your opinion of this pay-per-view is. Like, comment, and subscribe. As always, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. And you all take care, and thanks for watching, and take care.